Buying a new kitchen. Buying a new kitchen is a bit like buying a slice of life. We don't only cook here, but we eat, we work, we talk, we spend time together, we live. Here, we prepare the perfect dish for a special person, a snack for your son who is going to school, the new recipe for dinner with friends. Every day starts and finishes here. This place must speak of home, warmth, love. When I started looking for my new kitchen, I thought about all these things. I need to see my new kitchen, feel it, live it. It has to be beautiful, solid, safe. It has to last. I went to a lot of stores. I saw so many kitchens that my head started to spin, and yet there was always something wrong. I couldn't manage to feel my new kitchen. It wasn't speaking to me. I didn't love it. I saw the photos and the displays, but I couldn't understand. How could I choose such an important part of my life without trying it on first? A bit like a dress. I went in and out of 100 stores and I spoke to 100 people without getting anywhere. And then I found El Tongo. Here, kitchens are people-friendly. The colors suggest earth, water, nature, home. But beauty is subjective. It is different for everyone. Practicality, on the other hand, is the same for all of us. The designer from Del Tongo asked me if I'm left-handed, how many of us there are in the family, if we have a dog or a cat, and how we'll live. But why do you want to know, I asked. And he smiled and told me that a kitchen is a bit like a dress and is made to measure. Exactly what I was thinking. From Del Tongo, I learned about a company in Austria called Bloom that manufactures hinges, door runners, and lift systems. Bloom has also developed a system called Dynamic Space that makes kitchens as practical as they are beautiful. Dynamic Space brings together space, motion, and workflow, so that working in the kitchen is a pleasure to be enjoyed and not a load to be borne. Did you know that an average-sized kitchen like mine has to have space for 250 kilos of utensils and provisions? And did you know that over the average life of a kitchen, around 15 years, in order to make food, take out and put back pots and pans, equipment and ingredients, a person walks more than 2,000 kilometers in the kitchen? This is what dynamic space is for, so that 250 kilos gets put away properly in the right place, and that those 2,000 kilometers become 1,500s. It makes our life easier and partners the beautiful with the practical. Would you like an example? This is what I do in the mornings when I make breakfast. I turn on the coffee machine. For coffee, I need a cup and saucer, sugar and a spoon. Oh yes, the milk is in the fridge. Then a plate and a knife. And I need to turn on the toaster, and I need bread, butter and jelly. As you can see, I found all these things while standing in the same spot in the kitchen. And I didn't have to run around. That is what dynamic space is for. It really makes the kitchen our own little world. But how? What's different about kitchens designed with dynamic space? There are 3 concepts that are intertwined with 5 zones. The 3 concepts are workflow, space, and motion, and the 5 zones are consumables, non-consumables, cleaning, preparation, and cooking. They build the base for a practical kitchen. In Del Tongo stores, you'll be able to set up a test kitchen just like this one. By moving the cabinets and arranging them as they are in your design, you will immediately have an initial idea of what your kitchen will be like. That's it. I want it like that, designed according to dynamic space criteria. In order to make the route we take while working in the kitchen shorter, more logical and direct, in each zone, dynamic space provides us with a sufficient useful space to store the type of material that is used in that zone. To make an example, close to the cooking zone, we will have a deep drawer with a room for the spices and condiments used for cooking. Oil, for example. On the same principle, if I needed to make a salad now, here, in the preparation zone, I will find everything I need within reach, whether for cleaning or cooking. We've talked about the 5 zones, but what do the 3 concepts mean? Space, workflow, and motion. It's simple. Once we have defined the 5 zones, we will also have to equip them in order to be able to work, move, and make use of more space. When it comes to optimizing workflow in a kitchen, other than the 5 zones, we need to think about ergonomics. Here's something I'm sure you'd never imagine: Age Explorer. The suit you see, pretty much like an astronaut, is used to experience physical limitations that can happen if you grow older. It's designed to simulate movement, hearing, and eyesight restrictions of the person who wears it in a realistic way. Now let's see what I mean when I talk about ergonomics. One very good example is the principle that there should never be any doors in the base cabinets. This is a cabinet planned by a kitchen designer who has not thought about dynamic space. Access is really difficult and uncomfortable. The same cabinet, designed with a deep drawer, will let me inspect the contents without hunching up and quickly find what I'm looking for. A deep drawer like this one, which holds saucepans and lids, or like this one that holds cooking utensils and cutlery, must always be fitted with suitable internal organizers. This way, the contents are always in place and ready to be taken out. This was the first concept: the workflow in the kitchen. The second concept is space. Do you remember the 250 kilos of things that have to have a space in my kitchen? How can we manage to get enough space in our drawers and wall cabinets? One simple answer has to do with the sides of the deep drawers. If we close up the sides of our drawers so that they become containers with full solid sides, we can gain up to 55% more space for each drawer. Another answer is optimization. We try to use all the space we have available, for example by having a drawer under the sink, or creating a cupboard with the space tower method, as you see here, rather than with columns or containers in a line. In this way, I can easily see the contents of each drawer and take out the things I need, even without having to open it. Our third concept is motion. People and things move constantly in the kitchen, open and close, up, down, in, out. But there's movement and movement. We have talked about wall cupboards and deep drawers. All these parts open and close, but one of the things to keep in mind is the quality of that movement. As you can see, following the principle of dynamic space, all the drawers, doors, and wall cabinets open and close with a gentle, silent movement, and they are all fitted with Blue Motion soft close. And when your hands are full or dirty, when your wall cabinet is difficult to reach, the trash drawer is full and heavy. In fact, for when you want movement in the kitchen to be really fluid, gentle, and silent, there is servo drive, automatic opening for drawers and wall cabinets. This is what my kitchen has to be like: beautiful and practical. It must have space, it must be silent, and everything has to be in its place. Remember this when planning your kitchen. Remember that beauty is subjective, but practicality is the same for everyone. Taking care of my daily routine and making sure that I have easy access to my cabinets will bring good workflow to my kitchen. Remember that in this room, you work, but above all, you talk, you spend time together, you care, you love.